Well, let's maybe talk a little bit about EMFs. Could you give some basics on EMFs and what they do to the body?
EMFs are like electromagnetic frequencies or on a cellular level. The EMFs are causing oxidative stress or the release of free radicals. And this means that the cell is aging faster.
You're tuned in to the Dr. Kinney Show, and I'm your host, Dr. Erin Kinney, a naturopathic doctor and speaker dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of your body and guiding you back into balance. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Dr. Kinney Show. This week, I'm pleased to be joined with Juraj Kocar, who is the CEO of Somavedic. And if you've been following me on Instagram, I've been posting about this really cool device, and we're going to have a chat about EMFs and how to block EMFs and kind of what all of this means. So thank you so much for joining me on the show today.
You're welcome. Thank you, Erin, for having me.
Yeah. So maybe we could start if you want to share kind of how did you get to be the CEO of Somavedic, and tell me your journey into working with these really cool products.
Yes. So it's been almost 4 years now. It started in late 2018, but there is a story even before Somavedic. In around 2012, I was struggling with health, high blood pressure, cholesterol, brain fog and like lots of these things. And, the doctors just told me, hey, here are the pills. And, when I asked them, when will it stop? They said, no, the pills are forever. So, I decided that, okay, this is not the road I would like to go. So, I done lots of research, you find on everything on the internet. So, but the thing that helped me most was basically changing drastically the lifestyle, because before that I tried any supplement you can think of. There was only a slight help. But when I changed my diet, my lifestyle and everything, there was a huge shift, huge change. And after about 6 months, all of my, what I was suffering from was gone. All of my symptoms were gone, and I felt like really great. And so after this, let's say, transformation, I had a calling, to help other people as well. I didn't know how or how would that manifest or what should I do. You just have it in yourself. So, but I was going along with my life, 9-to-5 job and everything. And just a few years after that, I visited my friend, and he had this colorful lamps all over his living room. And when I asked him, hey, what is that? And he told me, well, it's a Somavedic. It's doing this and that. He shared with me some stories from his friends and experiences. And then it just immediately clicked. And I said, yes, this is it. This is what I want to do, because I wanted to help people, and this is a product. So, it can be distributed. So I just, felt that, yes, this is basically it. So I brought one Somavedic home with me. When I plugged it in, my jaw started buzzing from electricity.
Oh.
My girlfriend at that time, she felt this hard feeling on her chest, and everybody is experiencing the Somavedic differently. But this was basically my experience, and this is how it all started and how I got how I started to be involved with Somavedic.
Very cool. So that's I love hearing everyone's stories, because it's always something that's affected them personally, and then they're sharing what affected them with the world, which is really cool. Well, let's maybe talk a little bit about EMFs. Could you give some basics on EMFs and what they do to the body, and what kind of the reason why we need to have something like Somavedic in our lives?
Sure, definitely. The EMFs the effects of EMFs, it's a very niche topic. You almost can't find it in mainstream, except the 5G rollout. It has its, even though it's a not good thing, the positive side of that was that the awareness around EMF starting to grow because it was in the news. People started to have concerns and everything. So, but what are EMFs? EMFs are like electromagnetic frequencies, or it's electromagnetic radiation that almost any device that is powered by electricity or batteries is emitting. So EMFs are here since the invention of electricity, but the exponential increase of EMFs in our environment started with cell phones. Because with cell phones, wireless, Wi-Fi routers, wireless headphones, like everything that is communicating wirelessly, as we are now currently, is emitting the EMFs. And EMFs are these invisible frequencies and data, basically, that are devices communicating with each other. So this is in a nutshell, like what EMFs are. We are bathing in this EMF soup, since for more than 100 years now. But as I mentioned before, the exponential growth started with using cell phones, and it's growing every year. So it's every year almost the double and double and double. So the EMFs are not going anywhere because they are making our lives convenient, all of the devices we use. But there is, of course, like the downside of it, that our bodies, they were not designed to basically to evolve and thrive in such an EMF heavy environment that is currently in our cities or apartments or office spaces. Because there were two scientists that done a research. It was in 2015. How much the EMF levels increased compared to before electricity. And they basically found out that it was because now it's even more. But in 2015, it was billion times higher, the EMF environment, than compared to before the invention of electricity. And now it's even higher. So when you think about it, it's just, let's say 1 or 2 generations, it's 100 years. And the body has not the capacity to adapt this fast. So we are not living in this natural environment anymore. So, that's why we need to ground ourselves or spend more time in nature or use devices like Somavedic.
Yeah. So could you maybe talk a little bit about because in the research that I've done and the reading I've done, it's like the EMFs, they affect the cells, right? It affects you at a cellular level. So maybe you don't feel, most people might not feel any, I can tell there's a lot of EMFs around, but it might be affecting you at a micro level that over time could have some impact on different organ systems or maybe cause symptoms over time, correct?
Yes, that's right. So on a biological level, what EMFs, this is one of the most cited, papers, or research, is that on a biological level, the EMFs are, on a cellular level, the EMFs are causing so-called opening of the VGCCs, which are voltage gate calcium channels. So if they open, they let the calcium into the cell, and which is not something like we want or the cell want. And this is causing oxidative stress or the release of free radicals. And this means that the cell is aging faster. So in the midterm and long term, the midterm and long term effect is that we basically, we age faster. The cell and the organs are aging faster. But there are more than 25,000 peer-reviewed studies showing the adverse effects of EMFs on humans, animals, plants, so plants don't grow as fast. It has effect on the fertility, on like lots of things. People have brain fog or headaches it's interfering with our brain waves. That means we can't sleep well, which means we can't regenerate well. So the effects are very, let's say, diverse.
Yeah, and affect different people in different ways. I have some patients that are very, very sensitive to electromagnetic, and they've set up little spaces in their home that are EMF free. And I'm sure I've been to conferences before where they'll have an EMF free zone and you have to turn your cell phone off. And it's amazing how calm your body, like my experience in those EMF free zones where there's none, and they have those little machines where you can detect how much EMF is around you. And when there's zero, I just find it so, your body feels so calm and so at peace, which is very cool. So
yes,
I want to understand, because I don't quite understand, how does Somavedic work? So what is it exactly doing? I've had this device for about a couple of weeks now, and I've had it at the office and I've taken it home, and I definitely feel a difference. I've been sleeping better. I've noticed more mental clarity at the office. I feel like my mood's been a little bit better. I've been taking it everywhere I go. I'm like, oh no, this is coming with me. But what exactly is it doing? People are like, what is that little UFO thing you're bringing with you? I'm like, oh, it's blocking some bad things. We're just roll with it. But tell me how it works so I can explain it to people.
Yes. So, there's as I mentioned my story at the beginning, there's a story of a Somavedic and its founder, that is a dear friend of mine. So, he was also struggling with his health and found out that some of the root cause of his illnesses are EMFs. So, he started to study like Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine and different healing modalities of precious stones and minerals, and some at that time sound frequency therapy technology. And he was experimenting with that, and eventually he was like able to get rid of all of the symptoms and heal himself. And he's a mathematician and IT guy. He's not like a doctor or anything. But what he was doing, what he was trying, worked. And then he tried it with his family and friends, and it worked as well. So he decided, like, why not to put the knowledge and experience into a device. So what he has done is he combined like various precious stones and minerals and energy amplifiers with frequency therapy technology. And so what Somavedic is doing is it's this amplified natural frequencies and vibrations of precious stones and minerals that are creating a coherent field around the Somavedic. So this is how Somavedic is different. It doesn't have any preloaded frequencies or anything like that. It's just amplified like natural frequencies.
Yeah.
So and just it's not blocking EMFs, because some people might think that it will block the EMFs. So your cell phone will still work, your Wi-Fi will still work, but the body on a cellular level responds to the EMF environment differently, responds better.
So is it almost like the frequencies that the Somavedic are putting out, is it absorbing the EMFs, or like are they interacting in a way, or no?
They are not interacting with it. It's because we have like the spectrum of frequencies in our environment is like almost like, let's say, like unlimited. The spectrum is very wide. And Somavedic is working in one spectrum of frequencies, and the EMFs are on different spectrum. The light is on different spectrum. The sound is different spectrum. So they are like, all of them are there. They are not canceling each other out.
Gotcha.
But what the field is doing is basically creating, this coherent environment where the cells are not like as stressed. with the impact of the EMFs.
So the body is still going to be like, if there are EMFs around the Somavedic, you'll still get that, but the Somavedic, that frequency is
it mitigates the effect of the EMF.
Okay.
It mitigates the effects, not the EMF itself,
yes,
but the adverse effects of the EMF.
So it's like almost creating. It's like if you were to go out and drink alcohol or do something, but then it's like to drink water, or you're doing something beneficial for the body, even though the other thing is still there. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Exactly. So the way we know that there is a field and it's not a placebo is because we know that, for example, pets behave differently. Like cats and dogs, even small children, and even plants start to grow faster, or they have much bigger leaves. So, we can definitely rule out the placebo. And we have so many stories of women that bought Somavedics. Their husband, he didn't know what it is. They never told, but after a few days, they were able to see the difference. So it's really, really doing something. And as you mentioned, improving sleep and mental clarity and energy levels. That's one of the most common that
you hear
experiences with Somavedic.
Yeah. So if you put Somavedic in a mostly EMF-free zone, you'd get amplified effects, correct? Because you wouldn't have the.
Yes, because what the field of Somavedic is doing is basically allowing the body to start the self-healing, processes in the body, because body is doing the actual healing. It's the body, and the various frequencies are supporting to the body to start these processes.
So it's very cool. So I want to now talk about, because I know that the device also will structure your water, and I would love to hear an explanation from you on what does structured water mean, and then I want to know how Somavedic does it.
So first of all, what is structured water? Some listeners may be familiar with the research of Dr. Masaru Emoto, a Japanese scientist, that showed how emotions are affecting the structure of water. And he was showing it on the frozen crystals of water. Yeah. And there were these beautiful, like snowflakes frozen.
I've talked about that on the podcast before, and having to look up his photos. You Google him, and it's very cool to see what's happening with water with that.
Exactly. So what Somavedic is doing, and what the field, the coherent field that we were just discussing. So this field is also harmonizing and structuring the water that is in its reach. So we sent, for example, the Somavedics to Switzerland to do these tests and take photographs. And, they send us back like these beautiful crystals of structured water, like the before and after.
Oh, wow.
And so the field is basically, let's say, erasing the memory of the water or restructuring the water and putting it back into harmonious state. And as lots of you will know, the structured water is, more bioavailable, provides much better hydration. So it is the field, it is the Somavedic field that is doing the water structuring.
Well, then I guess if you think about that, I think it might be almost interesting to learn about that first and then understand how, our bodies are mostly water. So it's structuring the water in our bodies, correct? So.
Yes, exactly. Because for example, when people tell us that their plants grow faster, sometimes they don't even water them with the structured water. It's only that they are in that field. the plants are in that field, and this helps, the plants to have bigger leaves or grow faster or anything like that.
Yeah, it's so cool. So what else can you tell listeners about Somavedic?
Just getting back to structured water a bit.
Yes.
I just mentioned one last thing, that it's enough for if you put a jug of water like next to the Somavedic, it's enough to keep it there for about like 15-20 minutes, and it will structure the water. And the way how you can tell is usually by the taste. So like people say it tastes like more smooth, it's more smoother, more silky, and that they can't get enough, and there is one story that I like to mention, is a story of my colleague. And she said that she was suffering from like migraines on a regular basis. And since she, since she brought Somavedic home and started to structure water with it, she said she never experienced migraines again. She had like headaches from time to time, but not those migraines she was suffering from like years before that. Wow. So, and I'm not saying that this will have like the same effect on everybody, but she can precisely measure, when it started and when it stopped. And it might be the mitigation of the EMF effect. It might be the water structuring. That means that the body was provided with more hydration, or it's a combination of all of it that basically helped her.
So cool. And I know you guys have a bunch of different devices. Maybe you could talk about, are they, and some of them are smaller, some of them are larger, and it looks like they seem to do more areas of square footage. Is that correct? So like the more powerful devices will send the frequencies in a bit of a larger space?
Yes. So we have various models, but we have three main models. It's the Vedic, that is the bestseller. There's the green one.
The green one.
Then we have one stronger, that is the Ember, and one that is below the Vedic. So that is called the Sky. And the Vedic is the most versatile, most universal like unit we have. It's strong enough to mitigate the effects of 5G. It's structuring the water. So it's the most universal model.
Yeah. And
the way how you can differentiate between Somavedics is that some of them don't structure water, and some of them are not as strong enough, to mitigate the 5G. So these are the two main differentiators. But I would definitely recommend anybody the Vedic. That's the the best one we have in terms of the value to money ratio. And we have also, because everybody is experiencing differently, we have a 60-day money back guarantee on all of our products.
Oh, that's great.
On all of our Somavedics. That means that you have 2 months basically, to test it out if it's working for you or not. If it's worth the money or not. So, so I definitely encourage you, to everybody try it out because, yes. Yeah.
Because you don't know what effect it could have. And then another question. So would it be beneficial to have multiple of these in your house or in your office? Like what if you had two, I'm just thinking my office has 4 or 5 rooms, or you really just look at the square footage of because it's going to go through walls and.
Yeah. Well, that depends. Usually one Somavedic is enough for a whole apartment or whole house.
Floor. Yeah.
Yes. So because the field is penetrating the walls and floors, so the ideal place where to place Somavedic is usually the living room or kitchen. So you can structure water with it, and it reaches the bedroom, because we have to protect the most precious time for our bodies, and that's the sleep. That's the time where the body needs to regenerate. So it's definitely, we should definitely do everything everything we can to support our sleep. So one Somavedic is usually enough. Of course, people can experience different Somavedics, like the difference between them. I personally cannot, but I have so many people that bought for example, the Vedic, and then they bought the Ruby, the red one, and they said like, oh my God, this is so different energy, and I'm feeling this and that, like more peace or more calm, or so. I would leave this. So people don't necessarily need like more Somavedics at home. But if they are drawn to some more to try it out, then they should definitely test it out
and see if they feel different But could you, so are they, I guess maybe my question is more the different models, are they emitting different frequencies? I'm assuming they are if there's differences in how they affect the 5G and the structured water, correct? Like the smaller one, does that have a different frequency or just not as comprehensive of frequencies, or what's the...
They have a bit different frequencies because in each Somavedic, there is a different, let's say, stone composition. So we call it the heart. The Somavedic heart can consist, amongst other things, between 6 to 12 like gemstone combinations.
Okay.
So each Somavedic has a bit different heart. So they are basically like supporting each other. They are like not the same.
Very cool. So you could have multiple ones and have a wide variety of frequencies, but you don't necessarily need that.
Yeah.
Very cool. So this has been an awesome conversation. I know people can go check out the website, right? Somavedic.com if they want to learn more, correct?
Yes. Everything is the best place would be the somavedic.com or our Somavedic official Instagram account, where they can find everything. They can subscribe to our newsletter. Or they can write me directly at hello@somavedic.com if they have any questions.
Very cool. And if you guys do want to purchase, you can use the code Dr. Kinney, which will get you 10% off. And so if you want to try it out, and like, it's so cool that you've got the money back after 60 days, if it's not something that you like, but try it. Seems like why not worth a try, right? And see if you sleep better and have better clarity. And I like the idea of only one person buying it and then seeing what happens in the rest of the house and not telling anyone else. See what happens with your kids, see what happens with your spouse. I will also say I have a dog who's very anxious, particularly at night, and she has not woken up. She used to wake me up at night 2 or 3 times, and she hasn't woken up in the last week, which I find has been very nice for me. So I've been sleeping better just because my dog isn't waking me up, but I'm wondering if that's affecting her in some level.
That's interesting that you're mentioning it, because we were doing now a study with BrainTap.
I love BrainTap.
We have already the official results. We will be publishing them this week, and they basically show this statistical difference in sleep improvement, lower anxiety, lower stress levels when using Somavedic and BrainTap together. Because
using them together.
It was a joint study, yes. But the reason why I'm mentioning it is a bit different one, because one of the team members from BrainTap has a Somavedic, and she said that since she has the Somavedic at home, her dog is not as scared of thunderstorms anymore.
Oh, interesting.
Which is interesting.
That is interesting.
She said it's like he's much more calmer.
Yeah, well, that's what I've noticed about my dog. She seems much more calmer. But so you guys were looking at a study on people using BrainTap, and everyone, my listeners, I chatted. BrainTap was my, top favorite thing for this. I love that device. It's such a great meditation tool. So having that going, because the only thing I wasn't crazy about with BrainTap is it is a wireless device, right? So it's a great device, but so the Somavedic must be like mitigating that a little bit, which is cool. And probably also enhancing other things as well, I would imagine.
Yes. So, we had this idea, why not to try it together? And the results are really great.
That's very cool. Thank you for sharing. You're going to be publishing that soon. Will that be on your website, or where can people access that research?
Yes, it will be on our website. We have in the top menu science section. When you click there, you will be able to find it there.
That is amazing. Well, thank you so much. This has been an awesome interview. Like we said, go check out the website. If you want to use the code Dr. Kinney, we'll put all the links in the show notes. And this is great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Erin, for having me.
You're welcome. See everyone next week.
Thank you for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to connect with me on social media and leave a rating and/or a review. This helps grow the show so more people have access to this knowledge that leads to empowered healing. Love and light, and see you next week.